A 68-year-old man sat in my office, his eyes filled with a mixture of confusion and quiet desperation. His hands shook, not from illness or age, but from a profound sense of regret. He looked at me and said, "I had no idea. All this time, I thought I was doing something harmless." For years, he had been practicing a habit that millions of men engage in, often without realizing the silent impact it has on their lives. And he's far from alone. I'm Dr. Nathan Collins, a men's health expert with over 25 years of experience guiding men through the often overlooked aspects of aging. I'm here to share with you some truths that most doctors rarely discuss. Truths that could preserve your well-being, boost your confidence, and even transform how you see yourself as you age. As men get older, many aspects of life evolve, including how our bodies respond to certain habits. You've probably been told that some things are natural, harmless, or even beneficial. But what if the way you approach them matters more than you think? Today, I'm going to reveal 5 essential truths that every man over 60 should know. These insights have changed the lives of many of my patients, and they might just change yours too. So, if you're ready to rediscover your vitality, your confidence, and your sense of self, stick around, because the last truth I'll share might just change the way you live the rest of your life. Before we dive in, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more honest, age-specific health tips just for men. And if you relate to this topic, let me know in the comments with a simple yes. Let's start with the first truth, one that redefines how you think about aging and your sense of masculinity. Secret 1. Your strength isn't defined by your past. I once had a patient named Robert, a vibrant, hard-working man in his late 60s, who had always taken pride in his physical prowess. Whether it was lifting heavy objects at work or playing sports with his grandkids, Robert was the kind of man who never shied away from a challenge. But lately, he'd noticed a change. Tasks that once seemed effortless now felt taxing. One day, after struggling to carry groceries up the stairs, he found himself questioning his worth. "If I can't do what I used to, does that mean I'm losing myself?" he asked. This kind of fear is common. Men often equate their value with their physical abilities, and when those abilities shift, it feels like losing a part of who they are. But here's what I told Robert. Strength isn't about holding on to your past. It's about adapting to your present. As we age, our muscles change, our endurance shifts, and our stamina may not be what it once was. But that doesn't mean your story is over. It's just evolving. Instead of focusing on what you can't do, shift your attention to what you can still achieve. Robert took this to heart. He started exploring new activities that didn't require the same level of exertion, but still gave him a sense of accomplishment. Hiking, light resistance training, and swimming became his new outlets. And slowly, he began to feel his confidence return. Not because he was the same as before, but because he embraced who he was now. Your body may change, but your value never does. Aging is not a loss of strength. It's a transition to a new kind of resilience. In the next segment, we'll discuss a surprising truth about how your mind and body are more connected than you might think, and how understanding this connection can reshape your entire outlook on aging. Stay tuned. Secret 2. Your mind and body are more connected than you think. A few months ago, I sat with a man named Samuel. He was 71, a retired teacher with sharp wit and a love for storytelling. But when he spoke about his health, his tone changed. He admitted to feeling disconnected from his own body, like it was no longer his. "I don't feel things the way I used to," he confessed, his eyes reflecting a quiet sense of loss. As we dug deeper, Samuel revealed that he'd grown accustomed to ignoring the signals his body sent him. Stress, tension, fatigue. He brushed them aside as just part of getting old. But it was more than that. His body had been communicating with him for years, and he hadn't been listening. You see, as we age, the connection between our mind and body becomes even more crucial. Many men assume that aches and changes are simply inevitable, But that mindset can prevent us from understanding what's really happening. One of the most profound changes Samuel made was learning how to listen to his body again. We started small, with daily stretching and mindful breathing. At first, it seemed almost trivial to him. But within weeks, Samuel began to notice subtle shifts. His back pain eased, his mood lifted, and he felt more in tune with his own movements. What Samuel learned, and what I wish more men knew, is that your body never stops communicating. That stiffness in the morning, it's not just age, it's a call for more movement. That tightness in your chest after a long day, it's not just fatigue, it's a reminder to breathe deeper. Mindfulness is not just a buzzword, it's a pathway back to understanding your body. When you reconnect with the signals it sends, you regain a sense of control. This isn't about pretending you're still 25. It's about embracing the version of you that exists right now and giving it the attention it deserves. In the next segment, I'm going to share with you a surprising truth about how much control you still have over your physical health, even if you think it's too late. Because what if I told you that the way you move and take care of your body today can actually restore abilities you thought were long gone? Stay with me. Secret 3. It's never too late to reclaim your strength. Let me tell you about Martin. He was 74 when he walked, or more accurately shuffled, into my office. His shoulders were hunched, his steps uncertain, and he clutched a cane as if it were his lifeline. He sat down heavily, exhaling with exhaustion. "I guess this is it," he said, almost to himself. "This is what getting old feels like." But I knew it didn't have to be. I asked Martin if he would be willing to try something new. At first, he was hesitant, convinced that his body was beyond recovery. But he agreed to give it a chance. We started slow, really slow. Gentle stretching, light resistance exercises, and short walks around his neighborhood. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't fast, but it was consistent. Week by week, Martin began to change. His back straightened, his steps grew firmer. He started coming into my office without his cane. What Martin experienced is something I've seen time and time again. The body is remarkably resilient, even in your 70s and 80s. Science shows that muscle can be built at any age, flexibility can be restored, and balance can be regained. It's not about turning back the clock, it's about improving where you are right now. Martin didn't become a marathon runner, but he did something far more important. He took back his independence, he regained his confidence, and he proved to himself that it wasn't too late to reclaim his strength. So, if you're sitting there thinking that your best days are behind you, I'm here to tell you that they don't have to be. Your body responds to effort, no matter your age. All it takes is patience, consistency, and the willingness to try. In the next section, I'm going to share a story about a man who thought he had lost his sense of connection, not just with his body, but with life itself. What he discovered may surprise you. Stay tuned. Secret 4. Rediscovering connection isn't just possible. It's essential. I met George on a brisk autumn afternoon. He was 76, a widower of 5 years, and he told me that since his wife had passed, he hadn't felt truly alive. "I'm just existing," he said, staring out the window of my office. "I'm not living anymore." It wasn't just grief, though that was certainly part of it. George had gradually disconnected from everything he once loved. His daily walks stopped. His social calls with friends faded. Even his old hobby of woodworking had been left behind. He was convinced that with his wife gone, the best parts of his life had gone with her. But I saw something different. Beneath his sorrow, there was still a spark, a desire to feel connected again. I encouraged him to take just one step towards something he loved. We started with a walk around his neighborhood. At first, it was a struggle. His knees ached, and his breath came heavy. But slowly, that old rhythm came back. Within months, George was back in his workshop, crafting small wooden sculptures. He started attending community events and even joined a book club. His eyes lit up with stories of new friends, new projects, and a new appreciation for life. The truth is, connection isn't just about people, it's about purpose. When you find something that lights you up, it changes everything. Your mood lifts, your health improves, and you begin to remember what it feels like to truly live. George is a reminder that it's never too late to rediscover that spark. If you're feeling disconnected, I encourage you to find one thing, just one, that brings you joy, and make it a habit. You'd be surprised how much life you still have left to live. In the next segment, I'm going to share with you a hidden truth that could completely change how you view your health and well-being in your later years. It's something most people don't realize until it's too late. Don't miss it. Secret 5. The key to lasting vitality. I remember the first time I met John. He was 79, a retired engineer, sharp as a tack, but his body seemed to lag behind his mind. He walked with a slow shuffle, his shoulders slumped, and his hands slightly trembling. He looked me straight in the eye and asked, "Is it even possible to feel alive again? Or is this just how it ends?" That question stuck with me. So I asked John a question in return. "What would it mean for you to feel alive again?" He thought for a moment and replied, "I guess, to move without pain, to wake up and feel strong, to go for a walk and not be afraid of falling." It was then I knew that what John needed wasn't a miracle. It was a mindset shift. We started working together on a simple regimen: light stretching, resistance exercises, and breathing techniques to improve his balance. I encouraged him to join a local Tai Chi class to help with coordination and mental clarity. At first, he was skeptical. "I'm too old for this," he would say with a chuckle. But I pushed him to keep going. Weeks turned into months, and slowly, the changes began to show. His steps grew stronger, his back straightened, and he began to move with more confidence. One afternoon, he walked into my office with a grin I hadn't seen before. "I went hiking last weekend," he announced proudly. "I haven't done that in years." John is living proof that lasting vitality is not about turning back time. It's about making the most of the time you have. When you nurture your body with movement and care, it responds. Your muscles may be older, but they are still capable of growth. Your bones may be thinner, but they can still be strengthened. Your heart may have slowed, but it can still beat with purpose. There's a saying that goes, "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now." Your body works the same way. It's never too late to plant the seeds of strength, resilience, and vitality. In the next part, I want to bring everything we've covered together, because understanding these 5 secrets isn't just about knowledge, it's about action. Conclusion: redefining what it means to age. If you've stayed with me this far, I want to thank you, not just for listening, but for having the courage to face the truth about aging that so many men shy away from. These 5 secrets are not just pieces of medical advice. They are pathways back to vitality, purpose, and connection. We began with Secret 1, understanding that your strength is not defined by your past, but by your willingness to adapt to your present. The measure of a man isn't in what he used to do, but in what he still strives for. In Secret 2, we uncovered the power of reconnecting with your own body, listening to its signals, and embracing mindfulness. It's not just about being alive, it's about feeling alive. Secret 3 reminded us that it's never too late to reclaim your strength. Age is not a barrier, it's a call for adaptation. If you move with intention, your body will follow. With Secret 4, we saw that connection is essential, not just with others, but with yourself. Finding purpose reignites that spark that may have faded over the years. Whether it's a hobby, a group, or a daily walk, purpose is the fuel for a meaningful life. And finally, Secret 5 brought it all together by showing that vitality is within reach. You don't need to feel trapped in a body that you've outgrown. With care, with patience, and with action, you can rediscover the strength and purpose that perhaps you thought was gone. I've spent decades working with men who thought their best days were behind them, men who walked into my office defeated, only to walk out months later stronger, more confident, and more connected to their lives than they ever imagined. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's that your age is not your limit. It's your opportunity, an opportunity to redefine what it means to grow older, to move with strength, to live with purpose, and to wake up each day with a sense of vitality that defies expectation. If this message spoke to you, I want to invite you to be part of this journey. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I share honest, practical health guidance designed specifically for men like you. Men who are ready to reclaim their strength and rewrite their stories. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them. You never know how much of a difference a single conversation can make. Let's redefine what it means to age with strength, confidence, and purpose together.